Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to a weekend writing vlog. It is Saturday morning. I am working on my second cup of coffee out of this adorable kitty mug that my mom got me at Target. I think I might start collecting cat things, officially crazy cat lady. We're really going to be focusing on writing because I don't have editing clients during the weekend. I schedule my work so that I'm just working Monday through Friday for my clients. I have quite a few clients right now. I'm super busy. Make sure you're emailing me and getting booked in for editing services if you're interested, because guys, I'm already booking into April and May right now. But anyway, no editing clients this weekend. Just drinking coffee, working on Pistol Daisy, eating some really good food, and hanging out. I am almost done with this rewrite of Pistol Daisy, and it is so much better. Like, in this draft, I have finally fixed the problems that I had kind of been ignoring because they were big problems that required a lot of work. It required a rewrite, and I was just kind of like trying not to look at them. But I'm finally facing them. I'm facing the problems, and I'm rewriting it all. So I am on to the finale. I am going to start writing the finale today. First, I want to kind of plot it out. I got a bunch of ideas for it this morning while I was lying in bed. It was one of those moments where it's like, you know, a Saturday morning and you don't have to be anywhere. You wake up, but you're kind of dozing and you're like kind of aware of things, but still in your dream world a little bit. And I was just thinking about this finale that's coming up and like, okay, how can I make this work? I know it needs to happen, but I didn't know how. And it just all clicked together this morning while I was lying in bed. So I'm going to start by breaking out the Save the Cat book, looking at the 5-point finale, using the information I came up with this morning to plot out how this finale is going to work, which will lead us into the falling action and the end. Oh my gosh. So that's our first step today, is to plot it out so that I know, you know, my roadmap and I know exactly where I'm going. And then we get to actually write it. And then tomorrow I have a live stream. So I'm hoping that tomorrow during the live stream I can finish the 6th draft of Pistol Daisy. Fingers crossed. If you guys didn't already see it, let's take you over here. So if you guys didn't already see it, I just put up a video on Friday yesterday that is my like publishing checklist. So it's the 29, or I think now it's actually like 32, but it's essentially like the 29 things I need to do to publish Pistol Daisy because I've decided on a release date. So I have my board back here, and we're working here right now. Finish developmental edits. So I'm hoping to do that this weekend. And then this coming week, I can kind of reread the book and then update the illustrations and update the blurb. But this is the main thing I need to get done. So this is what we're going to be aiming to do this weekend. So if you haven't seen that video, it'll be linked down below. I have everything kind of listed out, everything I need to do over the next 5 months to get Pistol Daisy on the shelves so that you guys can read it. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and grab my Save the Cat book, maybe get a bite to eat because I'm feeling kind of hungry, and get this finale plotted out so that I can start writing it today. Okay, so I have my Save the Cat Writes a Novel book out, and I have Campfire pulled up. And by the way, you guys, if you'd like to use Campfire or try it, I do have a code if you're interested, and you can also try a free trial. But it's what I'm using to not only like plot my novel, but it's also my entire series Bible. So I opened up the timeline, which is where I have the plot of Pistol Daisy, and I opened up the little finale, I don't know, note card thing, whatever you want to call it. And I put in my 5 points. Now I just have to kind of go back through, add descriptions for each of the 5 points in my 5-point finale. And then once that's done, I'll be ready to start writing it. It is after 1 o'clock now. It's almost 1:30. And Greg and I just sat for over an hour easily, maybe even like 2 hours, discussing how this finale is going to happen and just like the logistics of it coming together. And I think we officially have it figured out, which means I'm going to probably run through it a few more times in my head, make sure I have it all written down so that I know exactly what's going on and exactly what needs to happen, and then I will be ready to start writing it. But I really had to take extra time this time around to plan things out, because I have a bad habit of just kind of rushing into scenes without thinking about like the logistics behind those scenes and how logical is it that these things would play out. And I'm trying to be much better about that, while also kind of infusing my stories with tension and action, because that's always been something I've struggled with. And I think this is going to do the trick. So I kind of just like took notes and wrote them down in this journal here. So I'm gonna enter them all into my Campfire program, into that like finale plot beat that's on my timeline, make sure I have that all figured out, and then might be time to start writing the finale. And after the finale is done, the story will wrap up very quickly and push us into the start of book 2, which is Whiskey City. Those are like back-to-back stories. The end of Pistol Daisy will lead immediately into the beginning of Whiskey City, so the ending will wrap up quite fast while also still kind of pushing readers forward into the next book. And I'm probably going to go make tea soon as well. My Sips by box came in, and I've already had quite a few of the teas from that box because they're so good, but probably go make tea a little bit later while I'm writing, and I'll check back in with you then. All right, bye. I did it. Okay, friends, I just finished writing up my outline for my 5-point finale, so it's ready to go. Like, I have it figured out. There are a lot of characters in this scene, so that was one of the like difficult parts of this, was figuring out what is everybody doing, like what job does each character have in this scene, and having to kind of be constantly aware. Like, this is a first-person point of view, so we only get to see Daisy. It's not like it's told in multi-POV where you get to see where everybody else is, But even though I only will be telling Daisy's side of the story, I still need to know where everybody else is, what they're doing, how time is passing. So it was pretty tricky. Like I said, it took a couple hours at least this morning just talking to Greg about it, plus brainstorming. And, you know, this is my 6th draft, so it took a lot to get to this point, but I think we're there. I think we're absolutely there. So I'm probably going to have some lunch. I'm really hungry and I can't write very well when I'm hungry. So I'm going to have a bite to eat, and then when I'm done, it'll probably be time to start writing the finale of Pistol Daisy. Wish me luck. So I haven't started writing yet for the day. I know it's been a few hours, but Greg and I ended up doing like all of our tax stuff. Taxes are all filed. Everything's good to go. So I did some adulting. I'm feeling great about that. It took a few hours, so I didn't get any writing done yet. So I'm gonna make myself some tea. I'll like briefly show you a couple teas from my box here. And then I think what I'm gonna work on tonight is my developmental editing class. I'm taking a developmental editing class through the Editorial Freelancers Association. It has been wonderful so far, and I'm going to use, and currently am using, the skills I'm gaining from this developmental editing class, and I'm using it not only in my manuscript critique services, but also in my outline critiques, in my query cleanups, editing synopses, and also in my copy editing. So really, as I'm taking these editing classes, even if I'm taking a developmental editing class, I find that it helps me across the board just to be a better editor, to catch more things, and to be more helpful to my clients. So I have a homework assignment due for my editing class tomorrow evening, Sunday evening. So I'd like to get a head start on it today, but I'm going to go ahead and make myself some tea and then just grab my laptop and kind of cozy up and start doing my developmental editing class. So let's see what tea I'm going to choose for tonight. And guys, remember, I have a $5 off code if you would like to get a Sips by Box of your own. So I already drank some of these. It came with a chai that was delicious. What's in here? Ooh, I've already tried this one. I've also already tried this one. They're both delicious. Let's see, what is this guy? I've tried most of these, to tell you the truth. The only one I haven't tried yet is this super caffeinated moringa infusion. So I think for this evening, I'm going to choose, oopsies. I think we're going to go with the vanilla orchid. So I have my tea heating up in my little kitty mug. I have my laptop open right over here. We're going to send a newsletter to let everybody know about my live stream tomorrow, which I'm pretty excited about. It's been a long time since I did a solo live stream. So send a newsletter and then dive into my developmental editing class. And then if I am really feeling energized, then I might start that finale, writing that finale scene for Pistol Daisy. But I have a feeling that tomorrow is going to be the big writing day, because today just required literally like a couple hours of just thinking and planning and plotting so that I know what I'm doing. So I feel really good about that. If you guys are not already a member of my newsletter, you can sign up down below. You guys will receive kind of behind the scenes information, as well as a self-publishing checklist that'll help you kind of prioritize what needs to be done like up to a year in advance of publishing your novel. And then also a self-publishing like budgeting and costs worksheet, just so that you'll have an idea of like the costs that are associated with self-publishing. So if you want those printable PDFs, make sure to sign up for my newsletter. It's linked right down below. Now let's get started on some developmental editing classes, shall we? Good morning. It is almost 9 o'clock. It's 5 minutes to 9 on Sunday morning. I'm about to hop on a solo live stream. I haven't live streamed on my own in a long time, so I'm pretty excited for it. I sent out an email last night just kind of reminding everybody in my newsletter that I was streaming today, so hopefully some people show up and want to write with me. My goal for today is to write the Pistol Daisy finale. I didn't end up writing yesterday. Last night I ended up focusing on my developmental editing class, because I have an assignment due today, so I wanted to make sure I was like reading all my, the lesson and everything. You know how school works. So I didn't get any writing done yesterday, but I plotted everything out and I feel really good and like just ready to write today. So I'm gonna go ahead and hop over onto the stream, probably start chatting people up, and hopefully we have a wonderful writing day. Okay, so we are in the middle of our third sprint. We're doing a 25-minute sprint. We have people here doing our 25-minute writing sprint. I just have some music going over here in the background. I already finished what did I finish? I'm still working on the finale. I finished gathering the team beat for the finale, and now I'm working on executing the plan for the finale. So it's going quite well. I've written almost 1,000 words so far. We've been live streaming for about an hour, and I'll probably stream for another half hour or so. A couple people want to say hi. Janet and Adam. Hi. So I just finished my live stream. I streamed for 1 hour and 56 minutes, about 2 hours. A lot of people showed up. I really appreciate everybody that came and hung out with me and got some writing done. I wrote quite a lot. I wrote 2,134 words, and I am into the 5th sub-beat of my finale. So I might write more today. I'm not sure. We'll just kind of see how the day goes. I'm feeling hungry and I want to get up and move because I've been sitting here for 2 hours. So again, I will kind of check in with you guys later on, kind of wrap up the weekend, let you know what I'm like working on moving forward. But this draft is almost done, and that is like my biggest goal for February, is to finish this developmental edit, and it's almost there. So I'm gonna go probably pop a vegan pizza into the oven, eat some junk food today on Sunday, and I'll check in with you guys in a little bit. All right, bye. Hey guys, checking back in. So it is, I'm not even sure what time it is. Let me look. It is 4:30 now. Greg and I have to go to the grocery store and just kind of prepare for the week ahead. We need to gist, for those of you who watch Kaylin Nicholson. But I just finished my homework assignment for my developmental editing class, and I got that turned in to my instructor. What I love about this instructor is that we do have like due dates for our homework each week, and we turn it into her, and then she gives us feedback. And already, my hair is just flopping all over the place. Already, this is just week 2, and I feel like my skills in developmental editing have already grown so much through just having that one-on-one feedback through an instructor who has been a developmental editor for so many years. So last week I was feeling a little bit almost overwhelmed with all of the information that she was teaching us and everything that we were learning. But this week I'm feeling much more excited. I got really good feedback from her on my homework from last week. Just turned in my homework assignment for this week, so I'm feeling pretty good. And I actually wanted to quickly answer a couple questions that I got from my newsletter subscribers. If you want to submit questions for upcoming vlogs and get the chance for me to answer them on camera, then go ahead and sign up for my newsletter. It's always linked in the description box down below. The first question comes in from Monique Anderson. She said, my question is, what advantages and disadvantages are there to owning a publishing house? So personally, I'm going to say there are mostly advantages. I can make an entire video on this, how and why to open your own publishing house. But essentially for me, I just opened my own business, and you can call it a publishing house. It can be your imprint. But I opened this publishing house, this business, to start publishing my books because I wanted Enchanted Ink Publishing to be listed as the publisher on book marketplaces. Personally, I think it looks unprofessional for my brand if the publisher listed is Natalia, Leigh, or, Create Space is what my old books say, because I didn't have my own ISBNs back then. So to be as professional as I could, I wanted to open up a business, open up a publishing house for my books. And that has actually grown into my editing business as well. So I'm using Enchanted Ink Publishing not only as a publishing house, but as an editing service as well, as an editing business. And because of that, I have a business bank account, which makes taxes incredibly simple. I actually just filed taxes for 2019, and I was so grateful that I had that business account because it kept everything separate from my pet sitting income. So that's definitely another advantage, is just being able to keep your income separate and see exactly how much money you're making on book sales, or in my case, editing. I like how professional it makes me feel. It helps me take myself seriously. And I love when I can tell, people, oh, I publish my own books and I have my own publishing house. It feels really good. And there's something to be said about taking yourself seriously. And I'm going to make a whole video on this, on how important it is to believe in yourself, to believe that you are an author, and to take yourself seriously. And opening a publishing house was part of that for me. But then kind of on the flip side of that, the only negative that I've ever seen associated with it is other people's negativity that they put on me, behaving as if by opening a publishing house, I'm trying to hide the fact that I'm a self-publisher, which of course is not the case. I am incredibly proud to be a self-publishing author. There is so much potential in self-publishing, and I have barely tapped into that potential, and I'm so excited about it. But the only negativity I have ever seen associated with opening a publishing house has come from other individuals who are misinformed, or just, choose not to become informed about why somebody might open a publishing house, and they just think, oh, you're doing it to hide the fact that you're a self-publisher. But my entire platform is about self-publishing, so I'm clearly not trying to hide anything. But Monique, thank you for that question, and I would like to do an entire video on how and why to open your own publishing house. So let me know, probably down below, if you're interested in that, so that I'll know if that's something I should be filming. And now let's move on to another question. This one is going to be from Amity Miller, and this is going to be the last question that I answer, so I'm only picking 2 for today's vlog. If you were querying agents or publishers with your manuscript and it was rejected, is self-publishing an option? Or vice versa, if you self-published a book, could you later query and attempt to have it published through a publishing house? So if I was querying agents and my manuscript was rejected, is self-publishing still an option? 100%, because if agents and editors are rejecting you, you don't, unless you're getting personalized feedback, you're not necessarily going to know why. In some cases, the story is just not ready. And in that case, you don't want to rush to self-publish that, because whether you're self-publishing or trying to traditionally publish, that story is still not ready. But then on the flip side, there's also the potential that you have a really wonderful and beautiful story that readers would enjoy, but there might not be a market for it in traditional publishing. Traditional publishing is different from self-pub that way. They really have to focus on what is making money, what genres are bringing in the highest amount of readers, and they have to focus on that. They have to, decide carefully what genres they want to be putting out there. So if you had, a vampire book right, in the years after Twilight, it may not have gotten picked up because the marketplace was already way too saturated with vampire books. So in that case, absolutely, you can step right into self-publishing. But I also have to kind of warn you by saying that self-publishing is not a fallback to traditional publishing. I do think that you need to make the decision carefully. And of course, you can always decide, hey, traditional publishing is not for me, I'm going to go the self-publishing route. But it's not something to just fall back on. It's not like a throwaway option. Self-publishing is incredibly difficult, and you can really reap the rewards from it, but you have to put in the time and energy. And a lot goes into self-publishing a high-quality book. Anybody can write a first draft and publish it, and unfortunately many people do, which is one of the reasons that self-publishing has such a bad reputation. But if you want to professionally self-publish your book and put something out that's really high quality that your readers are going to love, then it's going to take a lot of time and effort. But of course, you can do that even after having queried. Now, it's not necessarily going to be the same going the opposite direction. For most people, for 99% of people, if you self-publish a book, an agent or publishing house is not going to be interested in picking it up. They don't want something that you have already put out there. Now, of course, There are special unicorns that get these types of book deals. Somebody that has self-published a book and it has sold incredibly well, there's a lot of money to be made there for a traditional publishing house, and they might want to pick it up. And I have seen this happen to self-publishers over the years. I just saw a video about this the other day. I think it was some sort of like self-help book or something that a YouTuber had put out, and it did really, really well because she has quite a large platform, and a traditional publishing house wanted to pick it up because they could make more money off of that. But if you are not selling hundreds of thousands of copies, if this book isn't going all that well, you cannot just pull it and then offer it to a traditional publishing house, because that book is previously published and they're not going to want to have anything to do with that. So again, self-publishing is not a backup plan. You really do need to consider carefully whether traditional publication or self-publication is right for you. All right, Monique, Amity, thank you so much for those questions. I really appreciate it. So, first off, I need to fix this thing. Now that the hair is done, I'm going to go to the grocery store, get some stuff done for Sunday, some Sunday gisting. Let me know in the comments below if you know what I'm talking about when I say that. And I really appreciate you guys being here and watching this week's vlog. I didn't finish up Pistol Daisy today, but I do plan to have it finished up maybe by Tuesday is kind of what I'm aiming for. And I will be having a live stream on my channel this Thursday with Brooke. So if you want to join that live stream, get some words written on Thursday evening, make sure you are subscribing to my channel and hitting the bell notification to be notified when my new videos go live. You'll be notified about live streams, I'm pretty sure, I don't really know. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye everybody.